All right, this time when we're factoring a polynomial, we are going to be using the M method. So the M method looks like this. It looks like an M. That's why they call it the M method. So in this case, you bring down your x squared and you bring down your 18. And just like we've done in other methods, you have to figure out this middle piece here. So we need to figure out what the factors of negative 18 are, that when you add them up they will be 7. So in this case we have 1 and 18, and we need negative 2 and 9, and we need negative 3 and 6. So those are my factors of negative 18. I want to make sure that my larger number is positive here because our middle term is a positive number. So let's add these together. So I have 17, then I have 7, and then I have 3. So I found which one I'm going to use. It is right here. Now we're going to put those pieces together right here. So I need negative 2x, and a 9x get me to that 7x. So now I'm going to put my pieces in brackets. I'm going to collect them together. So I'm going to put a bracket around this one and a bracket around this one, and then I'm going to factor this one and then factor this one. So we're finding our greatest common factor of these pieces. Now, I know that I need parentheses for each one. So what can I pull out of here? They both share an x. So that leaves me with, if I take an x out of that, that leaves me with 1. If I take an x out of that, that leaves me with 2. And now I'm going to factor this piece here. So they both share a 9. I can factor a 9 out of both of them. If I factor 9 out of this, I'm left with x. If I factor 9 out of this, I'm left with negative 2. Now, I have a couple things that are the same. I have this, and I have this. So we can combine items here into parentheses. So I'm going to use this and this in my first parentheses. And I'm going to use the ones that are underlined in red in my second parentheses. You know you've done this correctly if you get to here and both of these parentheses match, and then you can recombine them here. Let's try it again with a different one. Okay, so I'm starting with my M method. So let's start with my M. Bring down my x squared, bring down my 42, set myself up over here. I'm going to, get to 42. And then I need to add to a negative 13. So I need a positive 42, but in the middle I need something that's negative. So in this case, both of my terms are going to be negative. When I'm factoring over here, I'm looking to see which set of factored pairs will get me to this term, the negative 13, as I'm putting my pieces together. So that would leave me a negative 43, that would be a negative 23, this one would be a negative 17, and a negative 13, excuse me. All right, so those are the pieces that I'm going to put here in the middle. So I need a negative 6x and a negative 7x. All right, now let's break those up. I'm going to rewrite that so that I can actually see what pieces I put together. Let me do that in blue. So here's what we have so far. I'm going to just make it a negative here. And then we had this one. And I'm going to put brackets around my pieces. And then I'm going to look to take the GCF out of here, where is our greatest common factor. In this case, I can take an x out of each one. And that leaves me with that. And then on this side, I can take a -7 out of both of these. If I take a -7 out, that leaves me with x here, and that leaves me with a -6 here. My brackets match here and here, so I know that I've done this step correctly. Now I'm going to recombine. This piece and this piece go together, and then the pieces in red go together. I know I've done this correctly. These match. If I wanted to truly check my answer, I would use the FOIL method, redistribute, go back to my original answer. Give it a try.